This is a fourth stimulus check, stimulus program, and news update. Today is supposed to be the deadline for Democrats and Republicans to come to an agreement on the next package. I'm going to play a few different video clips, one from a Democrat, one from a Republican, talking about the latest in negotiations. Big unemployment changes are happening tomorrow, June 1st. I'm going to give you those details, this way you know how to prepare for it. And a secret stimulus check is coming out that you have to ask for it in order to get it. I'll fill you in on those details so you could get access to that. Then I'll answer the questions you leave for me in the comments. Happy Memorial Day to you. Although it's not really a happy day, my heart goes out to all of our fallen soldiers who have sacrificed their lives to protect our country, protect our freedoms. And if you have served or anyone you know has served, thank you so much for your service and making America as great as it is today. So before we get into the stimulus news, I want to get your opinion on this first. United Kingdom spies believe that the theory that the COVID-19 escaped from a Wuhan lab is plausible and are trying to recruit darknet sources as they investigate it, according to a report. And the former deputy national security advisor says, I think we can find the COVID-19 origin. Basically telegraphing to China saying, hey, we're about to come in and investigate, giving China enough time to make people disappear, make files disappear, just in time for the investigation. Let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments below. Do you think it's okay with all these news articles saying we're about to investigate it, or is it good because it brings more attention to it? Let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments below. So there are big unemployment changes happening tomorrow, June 1st. To anyone who is on unemployment benefits, this information really important. I want to let you know what's going to happen. So basically, this is as a result of a poor jobs report, unemployment claims that came out a couple of weeks ago, with Georgia getting over 7,000 claims, which was the most, Washington over 6,000, Illinois over 3,000, and a few others. So basically, what's happening here is that at least 36 states are reimposing work search requirements on unemployment benefits starting tomorrow, June 1st, as well for certain states as well as a few other states. Basically, what this means is during the pandemic, people who were on the unemployment benefits didn't have to search for work because of what was going on with health concerns and the pandemic. So starting on June 1st, Indiana is going to require search requirements to happen June 6th, Virginia, June 27th, Montana, and then the other 33 states, they're going to start to trickle in as well. Now, this is different when it comes to the states that have canceled their unemployment benefits. So starting in June as well, June 12th, Alaska, Iowa, Mississippi, and Missouri are going to cancel their $300 per week unemployment benefits. So be on the lookout for that. And if you want to see what the other states, when they're canceling their $300 per week unemployment benefits, you could pause the screen and see which states they're going to cancel now. We're at 25 states so far that are canceling their unemployment benefits before the September 6th deadline. Next, let's talk about fourth stimulus check. So far, there's over 80 lawmakers who are in support of the fourth stimulus check, $2,000 recurring monthly payments, but letters keep being written, not much is being done, a lot of talk, not enough action. So basically where it's at right now is that a lot of letters are written to President Biden saying, hey, include the fourth stimulus check in the infrastructure plan, in the American Families Plan, but it's not up to President Biden. Basically, when the White House was asked about another round of recurring stimulus checks, the White House said, we'll see what members of Congress propose, but those payments are not free. Basically saying it's up to Congress to do it. So with all these letters written from Congress saying we want fourth stimulus checks, it's great because it shows support, but they're not actually putting it into the American Families Plan where it should be in order for people to actually get a fourth stimulus check. In terms of support, there's a lot of support. So far for the $2,000 per month petition for the fourth stimulus check, it looks like we're at 2,250,000 signatures so far, and every minute it seems like more and more people are signing up. Now this shows support, but to be honest with you, this could reach 5 million, and I don't see how this is going to translate into actually getting a fourth stimulus check. So I like to keep it real with you. I just want to report the newest articles of what's going on with a fourth stimulus check. But as of now, it's not in the American Families Plan, and it hasn't been addressed by President Biden yet. Now, in terms of a secret stimulus check that is coming, and you have to ask for it in order to get it. Now, this is referring to a new round that's coming out where it's going to give $10 billion for states territories, and tribes to provide relief for our country's most vulnerable homeowners. So basically, this is the fact sheet right here. It's on the Treasury website. It's going to provide $10 billion for state, territories, tribes to provide relief for our country's most vulnerable homeowners, and it's going to give a minimum of $50 million for each state, District of Columbia, and Puerto Rico, $30 million for territories of Guam, American Samoa, the United States Virgin Islands, and Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands, an explicit mandate to prioritize socially disadvantaged households. Basically, what this is, if you own a home, if you have a mortgage, the requirements are that you have to have less than $548,000 for your mortgage, as well as you have to have a lower income than what's in your median area, as well as below the poverty line. So basically, in order to access this money, you would go to ncsha.org and you would see this map here. You would pick out your state, or you could see there's a list down here. You would have to contact your local housing agency. Then you would try to apply for an application through them. So it's all specific through state, and it all depends on how much money your state gets and then how much money you could get for your mortgage to cover some payments there. This doesn't just cover mortgage, it also covers insurance, taxes, utilities as well. So for example, let's just say for California, you would just click the link for California and then go to the website and then apply that way. So let me know down in the comments below if you have any luck with this moving forward. All right, next, let's talk about what's going on with the big stimulus package. What's happening between Republicans and Democrats? Today was supposed to be the deadline, May 31st. Anything happening? You're probably not surprised. Does anything ever happen in Congress? They basically take their time with everything. And they're actually on vacation for this week as well. So basically, real compromise is possible on Biden infrastructure plan, according to key Republicans. So first, I'm going to play you a video clip from Democrat Pete Buttigieg talking more about what's happening with the next big package. Are we going to have this deadline? What's going to happen moving forward? Here's the video clip right now. And then I'll play you a Republicans video too.
Let's turn to infrastructure negotiations just to catch everyone up. President Biden started at $2.3 trillion in his proposal. Republicans started at about $600 billion. Now President Biden has gone down to $1.7 trillion. Republicans say they're at nearly $1 trillion over 8 years. You still want more money for rail, and you still can't agree on how to pay for it. When you and I talked on the show 6 weeks ago about it, you said the president wanted major action by Memorial Day. So what's next? Is the White House going to make another counteroffer? What's the plan?
Yeah, so this week Congress is out of Washington, but it's very much going to be a work week for us and for the conversations that are ongoing with Congress. By the time that they return, which is June 7th, just a week from tomorrow, we need a clear direction. Certainly encouraging to see the healthy conversations that have happened over the last days and weeks. But the president keeps saying inaction is not an option, and time is not unlimited here. The American people expect us to do something. They expect us to deliver, and it's my hope that these continued conversations, really over these next few days, will be productive and will lead to that clear direction.
There's some Democratic lawmakers who and I'm not just talking about the Bernie Sanders types who are very skeptical of Republicans to begin with, even though Sanders does have a record of bipartisan work, but some people who make a tradition of it, who normally cut deals, they say, you know what, Buttigieg, you've negotiated enough. The Republican counterproposal isn't much more than the U.S. would have spent anyway. You're wasting your time. Take a listen.
It's an old expression, fish or cut bait. I think we're getting to that moment.
We hope to move forward with Republicans, but we're not going to let them saying no stand in our way.
But at some point, we have to move forward.
Casey, Schumer, Durbin, these are people who generally would be in favor of negotiating. Are you basically saying that in the next week, if there isn't an agreement, Democrats are going to go it alone?
I think we are getting pretty close to a fish or cut bait moment, but I'll tell you that on the fishing side of things, the negotiations have been healthy. There's a lot of conversations going on.
So it looks like the deadline of today, May 31st, was a lot of other deadlines that we've heard from Congress. Doesn't really mean much. Deadlines just keep getting extended. The goalposts just keep being moved. So it looks like the White House is going to give the GOP 1 week to reach a deal on infrastructure. But they already gave him a week before on May 31st, so it seems like they're just going to keep moving on. The reason why infrastructure is so important is because once infrastructure is decided, then the real talks of social infrastructure, human infrastructure, care infrastructure, however you want to label it, but that's where the fourth stimulus check, homeowners credit, increase in Social Security, permanent child tax credit, that's where a lot of those programs are going to be. But the infrastructure package seems like it's just not going anywhere. Here is a clip by Republican Senator Shelley Moore talking more about how she spoke with President Biden and how President Biden is going to supposedly do a deal with Republicans. Here's what she says.
So we're responding to what the president has said. He told me on the phone just day before yesterday, let's get this done. And I think that means that his heart is in this. We have had some back and forth with the staff who've sort of pulled back a little bit, but I think we're smoothing out those edges.
I want to play something that your Democratic colleague, Senator Elizabeth Warren, had to say in response to the GOP's $928 billion counteroffer. Here's her take.
I don't really think this is a serious counteroffer. We were in a crisis before the pandemic hit. It only got worse during the pandemic. This is our chance to expand our idea of what infrastructure means.
A couple of sticking points there, and one of them is the most basic, is about the understanding of what infrastructure is. Secretary Pete Buttigieg says it should be all-encompassing because if people can't work, they can't travel the roads, they can't use infrastructure. How do you guys define this? Can you get to some middle ground on that?
Well, we disagree on the definition of infrastructure, and we've been working with the president to bring it back to the physical core idea of infrastructure that we've worked so well on in the past, whether that's roads and bridges, waterways, ports, lead pipes, transit, airports, and also the new infrastructure, which, you know, is we must have everywhere, a broadband. Those are great categories, I think, that we can work together on. You know, I think it's so easy to say, let's throw everything in. I think that's what the president did initially. Human infrastructure, social infrastructure, great things to talk about, things that we need to address, daycare, senior care, all of those items. But that's not what we consider physical infrastructure on modernizing our transportation system to meet the next century challenges. And that's where I think we need to concentrate our efforts at this point.
So it looks like we may have to suffer another week, month, years of negotiation between Republicans and Democrats, but it looks like that Democrats are most likely going to go through reconciliation, although Republicans like Shelley Moore seem very optimistic that it could be a bipartisan agreement. Let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments below. Next, I'm going to answer the questions you leave for me in the comments. Frederick Logan asks, whatever happened to the $200 boost to Social Security benefits, or was that another lie Biden has told to get elected? Great question. So, to answer in a political way, was it a lie or he just didn't tell the truth? No, but seriously though, he has it on his website to campaign on. He promised $200 increase per month for Social Security, and he did not follow through with that promise. So far, there have been other lawmakers in Congress, mostly Democrats, who want the increase in Social Security, but it hasn't made it into any plans yet. It looks like infrastructure is just the biggest obstacle first before that they have to get through, and then they'll talk about other social programs like this. At the moment, not really much going on there. Chris Romano asks, is it even legal for states to stop boosted unemployment? Yes, it is actually. So the 25 states that have canceled the $300 per week federal unemployment, they could cancel that, not the regular state unemployment, which is separate from the federal, but they can cancel the federal unemployment benefits, which they are doing before the September 6th expiration. Lenice Badley asks, is it okay to approve a COVID vaccine ID? It is a bad idea due to the fact that everybody does not have the same DNA or have illnesses that would exempt them. So yeah, in yesterday's video, there's a lot of, I talked about the bans on the COVID vaccine passports, and not everyone is eligible to take the vaccine, even if they wanted to, but also it brings in a big question about what about people's personal freedoms? Would they be forced to take a vaccine? Should they still have a choice? So basically, that's the big debate going on with the vaccine passport. Seems like the majority of comments that I get from you, from my audience, is that you're not for a vaccine passport. Anyway, that is all the stimulus news I have for you today to hopefully brighten your day a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Guys, guys, I didn't see you there. Hi guys, this is Belle. This is the tip of the day. So I wanted to tell you something that you should do. Hi guys, what are you doing? Sorry, that's my sister. If you want to do something and you can't find something, you have to do what you want to do and make another something. If you can't do the first one, then go on to the next one, because you have to stay positive and good and have good relationships with some friends, and you should always be good enough. Bye. That's all I wanted to tell you.
So are you planning on doing anything fun for Memorial Day? We're most likely just going to lay low. Everything is going to be super crowded here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. So we don't really like crowds. We don't like being around a lot of people. Beaches are going to be crowded. Parks are going to be crowded. So we're just going to probably lay low, hang out around the house just for today. But let me know if you're going to do anything fun. If you want to check out some of my other videos, you could click this link down over here or this link up here. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Be safe. Thank you for watching.